What's going on, everybody? Charles Weinraub here, aka the Handsome Homebuyer, and on today's vlog episode, we're going to be talking about understanding FMR, or fair market rent. Okay, so understanding FMR, very important. So everybody knows FMR stands for fair market rent. Now, I have a lot of people that are interested in Section 8 rentals. I also have a lot of people that There's a lot of people that are out there that want to get involved in Section 8, CDC, or all different types of government rentals. And this is not just in New York. We're going to speak about New York and New York rates, but this goes for the entire United States, the entire country, okay? There's also people that reach out to me and are interested in doing rentals, but they don't really understand the market, right? If you're going to do rentals on a very high level, you have to understand exactly what the rents are for your particular asset class. But at the beginning, if you don't have access to, let's say, a Stratus or a CoStar, or you don't have relationships with realtors that are like super dialed in to the rental market, you need some kind of base. So this is what I did, all right? So let me explain for a second. Like I said, fair market rent, this is set by HUD, all right? And if you want to find out, obviously, HUD is the federal government. They regulate what rental rates are for all the different programs, okay? So in order to find out what these are, and this is for, again, any county, and it's done on a county basis across the entire country, you just go to huduser.com, you put the year that you're in, and you also put the county, and it'll show you exactly how it breaks out. So let me give you an example. So let's say if you're looking to rent to Section 8 or CDC, and there are some variations, which I'll get to in a minute, but these are essentially the rates. And all these programs work off of FMR. So for 2021, and these guidelines come out typically October every single year and change. So right after October, if you have something that's renewing, let's say in November, December, even though it's the previous year, you can use the FMR rate. Sorry for the interruption, but if you've gone this far, I'd appreciate the like, the subscribe, click the bell. Thank you. Back to your regular scheduled program. So efficiency or one bedroom, FMR on Nassau and Suffolk County in this case is $13.43. One bedrooms are $16.59. Two bedrooms are $20.35, so on and so forth. Now there are certain programs that I work with that will actually directly pay you the FMR. Like if you have a house, let's say you have a 3-bedroom house, they will pay you the FMR, they'll pay all the utilities and all that. Now, if you're working with a Section 8 or a CDC, what they have is they have a grid for utilities that we don't have featured here, but if you reach out to that specific program, depending on the program, they're all a little bit different and they'll tell you what the deductions are. So for example, if you have gas heat, if you have oil heat, if you have electric heat, if it's a multifamily and the owner is paying the water versus the tenants, there's all kinds of different things. So essentially what you'll end up doing is you'll take this FMR number for whatever the unit size is, and they go bigger, they actually go up to 5 bedrooms, and you'll deduct the utilities to get the net number. And then what you can do as a landlord, as somebody that is trying to maximize their return, you can then build and develop that particular unit or that particular property to maximize your ROI based on the minimal deductions you can get. Let's say, for example, right now electric pays more. So let's say electric heat, you would deduct $100 versus gas heat, you would deduct $150 versus oil, you would deduct $160. So these are the kind of little tips and tricks that I know that I've developed over time that enable me to advise people that work with me as well as myself to maximize the ROI on every rental that we do. Okay, so like I said, this basically, all programs run off of FMR. We have the utility deductions, and again, reach out to the VA, the CDC, Section 8, etc., and ask them how they work it, and they will gladly send you over the FMR, but again, you can just look it up online, but more importantly, they'll send you over that utility grid. A lot of them now even post it online in more of your tech-savvy counties. Out here, they're not so tech-savvy, so you have to ask for it. But it changes every year. For example, last year, the utilities, and for as long as I can remember prior to that, as a landlord, you would get more money for gas. Now, you're getting more money for electric. So every year, you have to check it out and see. So this is also what affordable housing, for people, not to get into this, but for people that are looking to do like LIHTC, low-income housing, tax credit type deals with truly affordable housing, they also work off of this. They work off of this, and they work off the average median income, which is something interesting. At the end of the day, there is a tremendous amount of opportunity in the lower income housing, CDC, Section 8 type programs, because very simply put, these people don't really leave. The average stay of a Section 8 or CDC tenant is 11 years versus the average stay of a cash tenant being 2 years, because obviously that makes sense. Especially if you provide really, really high quality, affordable housing, you'll have tenants that can stay to you 20, 30 plus years, okay? Another most important thing is this is essentially a baseline, right? These are a baseline, meaning you know that the worst, when you're doing projections on a property and you're putting a pro forma together to do a rental, you can plug these numbers in as your absolute worst case scenario for Long Island especially, but probably everywhere in the country since affordable housing is such an issue. So if you're doing a deal anywhere on Long Island, let's say, and you want to say worst case scenario, your base case scenario, and pie in the sky, this could happen, and you can run pro formas on all three to see what your return is to make sure that the deal makes sense. These numbers can be your base case, because you know at the end of the day, you can always run to a program and get people in there immediately since the demand is so massive, and you know that this is what they pay, it's concrete, and they bump their own rent and adjust them every single year. You have to ask for it, but every year that FMR comes out and goes up, and it's very rare if ever it doesn't go up, you get those increases without a problem because the government's paying the whole thing, if not the majority. So again, if you're doing any kind of rental unit, plug this in for your base case, worst case scenario, and then if the numbers work there, anything above and beyond that point is a total win and it's gravy. So this is a way that a newbie person can analyze rental properties to ensure that they're at least going to be safe. Now you have to understand the market, because in certain cases, the FMR is much, much lower than you can get in a particular area. So you don't want to miss a deal for that reason. But again, as you learn, as you get into the process, this is a great place to start. And as you learn the market more and get more involved, you'll get more dialed in. So any questions, again, feel free to leave comments in the comment box, reach out to us. If you have any video questions for us, we're happy to address them live and then post them on any of our social media platforms. So you can send video inquiries to charles@handsomehomebuyer.com. And obviously, if you made it this far, we'd appreciate the like, the subscribe, and ring that bell. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one.